Hello, welcome to a new video, and this is my Big Finish collection. I have got some at the top, so I'm going to do this in the Doctor's order. So for the 4th Doctor, I've got Night of the Fashion Armada. It's absolutely brilliant story. Tom Baker is brilliant in this as the Doctor and fighting against the Fashion Armada. Such a fantastic Big Finish audio story. So next I've got the Marilyn Grave. This is actually from his 6th season. This is story 7. I haven't got any others. This is actually quite brilliant, and this is based around like just before season 18, before he goes to Brighton. I think it's such a fantastic story. I actually do quite enjoy this one. Peter Davison, I've got The Toy, read by Sarah Sutton, who played Nyssa, and this is a story set on Gallifrey, which features 2 Inquisitors of the Master, says Roger Delgado and Anthony Ainley's Master. Empress of the Rachnos. The 5th Doctor fights against the Rachnos in the war between the Rachnos and the Time Lords, which was mentioned in The Runaway Bride. It's actually quite a good story, actually. It's well worth listening to. Destiny of the Doctor. Smoke and Mirrors. Fantastic story. I actually do enjoy this one a little bit. So I've got the 6th Doctor. This one is from this box set, same as the Fashion Armada with Tom and Peter. And the 6th Doctor is actually fighting against the series 3 villains with David Tennant, the Carrier Knights, on modern Earth. Well, on Earth. It is a good story. I actually not my favourite Colin Baker one though. I've only got 2 major Colin Baker stories, I think. So the next one I've got here. Oh, hang on, if I'm going to do this in Colin Baker, I've got the 6th Doctor's Last Adventure with 4 brand new stories set in. I actually do like The Blink of Death. It has the regeneration that's leading into Time of the Rani, which is a season 24 story. This is fantastic, and my one's actually 6,565. You know, you can read it yourselves. I can understand it. This is just a fantastic story. I do love that one. So for the 7th Doctor, I've got Terror of the Santarans. It's a shame you never encountered them on the telly, but this is kind of set around season 24 because it's got Bonnie Langford, who played Mal, who was recently in EastEnders as Carmel. It's a good Santaran story. Fantastic. I actually prefer this one to the 2 Doctors. So going on to a multi-Doctor story now, and it's the only one I owe. I am listening to. I have got Swatfly, so I'm listening to the main range on Swatfly as well. So I've got Light at the End, a fantastic story for the 50th anniversary. Tom Baker, brilliant. Davis and brilliant. Baker, Dave, also brilliant. It's a brilliant story. We've got Jeffrey Beavers back as the Master. It's just such a fantastic story, and I actually think this is set before Keeper of Traken and straight after the Delia Assassin. So it's absolutely brilliant. I do prefer this. It's fantastic, and you've got a bit of the echoes between the first 3 Doctors as well. It is just a fantastic story, and as you see, Jeffrey Beavers, the Master. Such a fantastic way. So, going on to the 8th Doctor now, I have got his one here. I've actually got the final record of Max Warp. I do have a final player. It's connected, but the needle's gone in mine, so I'm trying to get one with a new needle. Now, this is a fantastic story. I do love this one. We've got Sarah, the one from can't say her name, Sarah Jane Smith, something like that, who played Janet in 2 Parts of Logan's Packet Crisps. I didn't actually know she came into Doctor Who to play the 8th Doctor's companion, Lucy Miller, until I actually bought this story. So I'm actually going to look for more of her audios for the Doctors, because Sarah Jane Smith is a brilliant actress. I actually adore her in 2 Points of Lager and the Packet of Crisps. So have her with the Doctor, with the 8th Doctor, is a fantastic way. So back to the 8th Doctor from the box set Classic Doctor Who Monsters. We've got the 8th Doctor fighting against the Fashion Armada. I haven't really listened to this one recently. I haven't really actually listened to it yet. It's just such a fantastic story from what I can remember. I do need to re-listen to it. So the next one, I've actually got a series of Paul McGann. I haven't got any idea of the Paul McGann series, so that's what's next on the list. I've actually got Doctor Who, the 8th Doctor, the Time War 1. There's actually 4 sets to this. The 4th one's about to come out. I need to look at it. So we've got the Starships of... That's kind of a... This one isn't actually a brilliant story. I actually do love this one. The TARDIS lands inside of a broom covered on a spaceship, and they crash land onto a planet, which leads into the next story with the Echoes of War, where the Daleks invade, with a damaged Dalek thinking it's good. It's such a fantastic story. I actually do love Time War 1. All the stories are brilliant. You got a renegade Time Lord looking for a renegade time. Well, we have a time looking for a renegade Time Lord in a battle TARDIS. A whole Dalek fleet heading towards the time period the Doctor is in. It's just such a fantastic story. And the Doctor's trying to get out of a war. This one, you got the Time Lords trying to make the Doctor fight in the war. They're even that stupid song like they do in Dad's Army, I think. It is a good story, but I don't like it. But look at the Time Lord Guard. Yeah, I do like his uniform, like that Time Lord Guard. I think this is an actual person that played in Hellbent. Yeah, it is a good story. So the next one we've got in this trilogy is One Life. And this is actually this is the weakest one of the story. My favourite one is Echoes of War with a damaged Dalek going good. This one's it's okay, but not as much. So the next one I've got is an actual... this is the only one I've got of John Hurt as the Doctor. I need to get the other 3 of his. And I've got Casualties of War, which features Louise Jameson back as Leela, who played the 4th Doctor. Leela was the 4th Doctor's companion in season 14 and 15. So I do kind of enjoy Leela. I actually prefer Leela to Sarah Jane Smith. I really do. So we've got Pretty Liars. This is also set in the Time War. I do love this Time War stuff. I do need to buy the rest of John Hurt's stuff and Paul McGann's of the Time War. Again, this is I need to re-listen to this one actually. I didn't actually listen to that one. This is my favourite one so far. Let me look at that Dalek. Look at that Dalek on the cover. It's brilliant. And this is the Engineered Dimensions. This Dalek, I think it jumps through dimensions. It's such a fantastic story. This is John Hurt at his best. I do need to get the other 3 box sets of John Hurt, so I can actually listen to them. It's such a good story. So the next one I've got is another final, and it's a David Tennant one. David Tennant came back to Doctor Who in Big Finish, Death and the Queen. And this is set in between series 4. I think it's set in between the Unicorn and the Wasp and Midnight, I think it is. I don't really know, but I actually do prefer this story. It's such a fantastic story. David Tennant is brilliant as a Doctor. Wow. Tennant is my least favourite Doctor, because I don't like his series 1 and 2, but he's brilliant series 4 with Catherine Tate. Is she? So to have this Tennant back in Big Finish is brilliant. I'm hoping that Big Finish, I've stopped doing the lovey-dovey stories between Ten and Rose in that box set. What I'm going to try and get next is David Tennant. So that's my Big Finish stuff so far. I am planning on buying more to build up the collection. I am after the Time War box set. So there's Time War 2, Time War 3, Time War 4. And the other 3 of John Hurt. I'm going to focus on the Time War more, because it leads into after Heckelson. Well, as it sets, because it's supposed to lead into Heckelson, I've read. So I'm going to listen to that. So that's all my Big Finishes. I am listening. Most of them are been put on Spotfly. I am listening to them. I've just listened to Silence of Time with Peter Davison, Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy, which is the very first Big Finish story actually. So I'm quite looking forward to keep listening to the Big Finish stuff on Spotfly. I am going to will be buying Big Finish as well. This is the next project after I've got hold of the VHS tapes of Doctor Who. So thank you for watching.